Isn't it about time for somebody's favorite radio program?
This is America's Outdoor Talk program.
Are you ready to get rowdy?
Outdoors This Week with your host, Alex Langer. Alex Langer. We've got fishing.
Believe me, folks, I have been there, and the fishing has been tremendous.
Hiking.
Adios. Have a nice trip.
Camping.
This is a real adventure.
How do you know?
When you're an experienced woodsman like me, you get a feel for these things.
Oh, really?
Heck, we've even got kayaking.
I'm going to show you kids the time of your life.
We've got all the info you need for a safe and fun day in the sun.
It's a darn good thing we found you when we did. There's something horrible roaming these woods.
And you've got Outdoors This Week. Outdoors This Week. And now, here's your host, Alex Langer.
Why, that would be me, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you very much for welcoming me into your homes, into your computers, and your living rooms. Today we have a very, very special treat. We have the only Bassmaster Classic winner from Japan. That is, of course, none other than Takahiro Omori. Tak, as we call him, was born in Tokyo, and when he was a young child, his family moved to the countryside, and his dad took him saltwater fishing often, you know. Tak caught his first bass at a small pond with his friends when he was 9 years old. He used to ride a bike to go fish with his friends almost every weekend in the country, and that was the one place he could go without his family, with his other friends. And after he competed in junior tournaments in high school, he knew by graduation that he wanted to fish as a pro. And of course, the only place you could fish as a pro and make a living somewhat is the USA. Is the good old USA. So what did he do? He got all his belongings together, which was like probably a few things in his pocket, and $2,000, and he moved to a car. Well, that's one of the things I love about Tak, because, you know, there's no pretenses about him at all. You know, he moved to America to become a homeless bass fisherman. That in itself is a great story. And more than that, within a few years, he becomes king of the bass fishing world. How cool is that?
That's amazing.
That's at least a made-for-TV movie.
It is.
Maybe even a regular movie, you know?
I'd go see it.
I could see that as a Hollywood flick anytime. So Tak is here with us today, and his story interests me personally because my parents and grandparents also moved here, not from the Orient, but from Europe. And I remember growing up in this culture and learning English and blah, 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 you know. And, you know, if you're from a different culture, you do have a different perspective. We're going to talk to Tak today. And then we have all of our usual suspects, none of whom are Japanese as far as I know. They're Larry Whiteley from Bass Pro Shops in Missouri. We have Sammy Lee from the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame. And then we have good old, Wade Bourne. So that rounds out our show today. Stay with us. It's going to be an exciting but bumpy ride. Don't go away.
More of America's favorite outdoor talk program, Outdoors This Week, after these messages.
Hi folks, Ron Lindner here for Lindner's Angling Edge Television. We're still on the Pursuit Channel at Saturdays at 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and WFN on Friday nights at 11 a.m. and I think it's 8 p.m. on WFN Network, and a lot of other places. By the way, you can also look for us on Ron Lindner Facebook or Angling Edge Facebook, and you could look for our new book, anglingedge.com. Anglingedge.com, the greatest. You go look it up. You deserve to see the book. Okay. There's a new thing out here, and I just took a test. This is for an obsessive-compulsive syndrome. They found this new, it's called the obsessive-compulsive fishing syndrome. This is discovered by a new, some psychologist and psychiatrist someplace. And there's a test, naturally any of these syndromes, obsessive-compulsive syndromes have little markers to them, and they got a 20 question marker that identifies you whether you have an obsessive-compulsive fishing syndrome. I'm going to read them to you, and you think about it yourself. Now, I scored 20 out of 20. That means I'm done. If you score as little as 5 out of the 20, they claim that you've got it. But if you do, Al, my brother did 20 out of 20, and my son Jim did 20 out of 20. So here they go. Question 1. Your Facebook profile picture is you holding a fish. 2. Your first selection criteria for a home purchase or rental is the perfect and permanent spot for your boat and trailer. For me, that was an absolute. 3. You think about fishing at least every 10 minutes or less. 4. You have a closet full of logoed shirts, sweatshirts, and hats with your favorite fishing boat brands. Absolutely. And lure brands, I might add, in my case. In fact, my wife noticed that I don't even have a shirt that don't have a logo on it. If you live north of the 41st parallel, you also own a winter version of that wardrobe, but these have ice fishing brands on them. 6. If the climate that you live in, depends on what it is, your boat jacket has a boat brand logo on it. 7. You match your truck and boat trailer. You try to color coordinate them. 8. You have bins and bins or tubs and tubs of crankbaits, yet you still go out and buy more. 9. You speak in a code. For example, we took a bunch of lunkers today down at the back end of the slide. It's words like this. Your friends don't understand the code. Your spouse's friends absolutely don't. If you are single, you're not sure that the right person is worth giving up time on the water for. 11. Vacation days for fishing are holidays, weekends, and when one lives in close proximity to a great fishery. That's the time between sleeping. Question 12. You will sleep in your truck at a boat landing. I have done that more than once. 13. You have shunned people from your family circle because they don't know who KVD is. 14. If you have ever fished a tournament, regardless of where you fished or finished, you look to see who did better than you. And you feel okay about fishing down in the bottom half as long as you beat somebody with some name guy or some guy that won some tournaments. As long as somebody below you is a fishing champion, you did okay, regardless of how you finished. 15, you watch live stream tournament weigh-ins, and if something goes wrong, you post something on the fishing chat forum, or you write in a protest on a Twitter. 16, your fishing chat forum name is tied to your boat or your favorite species of fish. That's the one that was kind of open for us. That one I did. Double headers are not about baseball. Absolutely, double headers. 18, you use sun protection Formula 80. That's the toughest sunscreen you can get. Yet, you have suntan raccoon eyes from your polarized sunglasses. Al, Jimmy, and I have permanent raccoon eyes that never ends. I've had the raccoon eyes now for going on probably 50 years. 6, no, get this one. 19, you love Rapala billboards, but you still may not say Rapala or Rapala or Rapala right correctly. There are so many different pronunciations. 20, you are never bored. There are always hooks to sharpen and reels to respool. I told my wife some time ago, I says, honey, people that spool reels together stay together. And guess what? She bought the premise. That's it anyway. So if you answered at least 5 of these questions, yes, you have obsessive-compulsive fishing syndrome. That's it for now. And by the way, take a check of our book at anglingedge.com. That's anglingedge.com.
Bass Pro Shops Outdoor World.
Would you like to spend less time on the couch and more time in the fresh air? Would you like your kids to stare at a bobber instead of the TV? Would you gladly trade in your microwave for a Dutch oven? Then you belong at Bass Pro Shops. Every week, we offer free skills workshops to help you get started. See the store or go to BassPro.com for more information. Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here.
For pure fun, float fishing will challenge any other type of angling experience. All you need is a fisherman or two, a rod and reel, a boat, and a river. Like other types of angling, float fishing is best in the spring when rivers and streams' floating capabilities are at their best. Anyone with a little common sense can navigate most rivers. In most cases, you won't catch trophy fish like you will in lakes and reservoirs, but you will have the opportunity to catch as many as a half dozen species of fish on a single stretch of water, with a single rod and reel in a single day. On clear, swift water, you'll need ultralight spinning or spin cast rod and reel combos with 4 to 6 pound line, and the shorter the rod, the better. On snag-filled water, try a spin cast or lightweight bait casting outfit with 8 or 10 pound test line. All types of live bait and practically any type of artificial bait will work when float fishing. I'm Larry Whiteley, and this is Bass Pro Shops Outdoor World.
Thanks a lot, Larry. We have the 2004 winner of the Bassmaster Classic with us today on this show. His name is Takahiro Omori, and unlike any other Bassmaster Classic winner, he was not born in this country. I mean, he was born in Tokyo, Japan. I think that there have been no other foreign winners of the Bassmaster Classic. Lynn, am I right?
I think you're right.
The reason I like Takahiro, he broke the mold. There was nobody like Takahiro before, and there's some people trying to come after him, and we'll talk to him about that. He started fishing in saltwater, believe it or not, with his dad when he was young, and he caught his first bass on a small pond with friends when he was 9 years old, and he rode his bike with friends to fish almost every weekend. He competed in junior tournaments in high school, and he knew by graduation that he wanted to fish professionally. He moved to Texas, and he struggled with complications that came along with fishing for a living, but he never gave up on his dream. And I think in that sense, he has lived the American dream at least as much as any Bassmaster Classic winner of the past. And in making a plan for his life, Takahiro went on to compete in bass tournaments and qualified for his first Classic in 2001, and he won his first Classic in 2004. And he is currently fishing the Bassmaster Elite Series today. Takahiro, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to talk to you again.
Good to talk to you, Takahiro. When did you start fishing saltwater with your dad?
I was very young, probably 5 or 6.
How did you get interested in bass fishing?
Well, the bass have a little pond I can get to because to the ocean, you can't go by yourself when you're young.
Right.
Kids, But the bass live the pond near the house and near the school, so I can just easily get to it.
You rode your bike there with friends, and I guess the rest is history. What made you want to become a professional bass fisherman?
Well, number one, I like outdoor, fishing, camping, just outdoor things.
Yeah.
Number two, I like competition. My friends compete against my friends or club, then I can learn a lot more technique quicker because I can compete each other to try to get better as a fisherman.
Right. How big was bass fishing in Japan when you were a kid?
It's not much.
Right.
It's not much at all. I think tournament fishing just started in Japan about 25 years ago, so we don't have anything going.
You fished some of the first tournaments in Japan?
Yes. Those are little junior tournament.
Yeah.
But before that, everybody was using nightcrawler, minnows, just like fishing saltwater. But those tournament fishing only allowed to use artificial bait.
Right.
So that makes me more challenging to enjoy catching those bass.
Who organized the first tournament that you fished?
They have a little town organize those like a fishing festival things, but it was a small tournament.
Okay. It was not a big deal. How'd you do in that first tournament? You recall?
Not so much.
Not
so much. I don't have any good rod, reel, not good line, hook, or of course I don't have a own boat.
Right. Did you fish off the bank? Was that the deal?
Well, we rent a little boat. It was like a low boat.
Yeah.
It's not even have an engine.
Right.
So like a little low boat.
You fish your first bass tournament out of a rowboat. That's got to be a first.
In Japan, bass fishing, they was way, way behind the United States.
Right,
so
right.
To start somewhere.
I guess so. Takahiro, we got to take a quick break. Would you come back for another segment or two, all right?
Sure.
All right, thanks a lot.
This is Outdoors This Week with Alex Langer.
Wow! Woo! Hold on to that, and that's a good one since 1985. Tight Lines with Sammy Lee.
Do you enjoy catching big bass? Well, if you're like me, you do. Hello, this is Sammy Lee. In just a moment, I'll talk with Denny Brower about catching big bass with the flipping technique. But first, this message.
Want to really get away from it all? That'd be South Dakota's Cheyenne Ridge Signature Lodge in Lake Oahe. 230 miles of world-class smallmouth, trophy northern pike, and walleye galore. And after you get your limit, get out your golf clubs for a few rounds at Sutton Bay. It's not your ordinary trip to the lake. It's Canadian-style fishing with American-style luxury at Cheyenne Ridge Signature Lodge. You'll want to take a look online at CheyenneRidge.com.
When the name Denny Brower comes up, most people think of the flipping technique. And why not? Denny's used this method of fishing to land hundreds of bass in the 5 to 8 pound class. And he's won over $2 million during his professional bass tournament career that has seen him win a BASS Angler of the Year and a Bassmaster Classic titles. So while talking with Denny recently, I asked why he started using the flipping method in the first place.
Well, number one, I enjoy catching large fish, and I don't think there's a technique that we have developed that's better at catching large fish than flipping or pitching, because you get into areas that a lot of people can't reach, and bass like to live around the heaviest cover available, and the bigger ones especially. And this technique allows you not only to get a bait to where they're living and present it correctly, but it enables you to get the fish back out with a good chance of landing it.
You know, but you make it sound so simple. You say, get a bait back in. Now, flipping is not necessarily an easy technique, is it? Or is it?
I think it's probably the easiest technique there is. If you're lazy, you'll love flipping. It looks awkward because you have the long rod and you have to develop a little bit of coordination with the line in your hand and the timing as you swing your bait out forward into the spot. But it's a very easy technique to learn, an hour of practice, and any individual can become very accurate with it.
Boy, they sure can. I've watched Denny teach people to flip in just a matter of 30 to 45 minutes. But there's more to flipping than just learning the art of the cast. When we get together again, Denny Brower will discuss the actual differences between flipping and pitching, so I hope you'll join us for that. I'm Sammy Lee, and until next time, Tight Lines.
Tight Lines, brought to you by Fishmate,
The ultimate fishing app for your smartphone.
by UFP,
America's leading maker of brake systems for boat trailers.
by Smart Baits,
Color changes everything.
and by Cheyenne Ridge Signature Lodge.
Discover why our lodge earned 2 Beretta Tridents.
Thanks a lot, Sammy Lee. And Sammy is in charge of the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame, and we have a guy here that won the Bassmaster Classic. He belongs in the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame because he's the first non-American to ever win the Bassmaster Classic. Takahiro Omori was born in Tokyo, Japan. When he was a kid, his father took him saltwater fishing, but Tak caught his first bass in a small pond with friends when he was just 9 years old. He rode his bike to fish with friends to fish almost every weekend. And he moved to Texas. Long story short, he moved to Texas, started bass fishing professionally, and won the Classic. And the end of story. Right, Tak? That's about it, right?
That sounds so easy, but it's not.
You met Gary Yamamoto when he visited Japan. What did he teach you about tournament fishing versus fun fishing?
Well, the competitive fishing, it's not just catch whatever you can.
Right.
You have to have a good game plan. You have to prepare. Then you have to make a good adjustment every day on the water. It's a little bit different than just the fun fishing.
Right. Rick Clunn is a master of mental preparation. What did Rick teach you?
Well, I went to his school. He did a seminar at his house.
Yeah, seminars are very Eastern. They're not American at all.
Yes, a little bit different, a little bit like an Indian style.
Right.
Like a native Indian style.
Right.
It's a little bit different way to look at the fishing.
Yep.
but a more like a natural way.
Right.
And you have to just get into the nature.
When did you go to this seminar?
There was one I went like right before I won the classic.
Really? I never knew that. Rick Clunn could rightfully count you as one of his students.
Yes, yeah, he's like my teacher, and he showed me a lot of not just technique. I mean, the stuff I hung around him at the campground. We, traveling same tournament.
Right.
See him a lot. After the fishing day, then if I had any question, then I can go out to his campsite. Then I can ask him. So he teach me a lot. Helped me to become a fisherman. That's true.
What did he teach you that you didn't know already? Or did he just bring out what you already knew?
A lot of things. Just in my mind, it's, you have to trust your instincts. So you have to just be able yourself to be able to find, fish in the way you want it. And you can make a good adjustment if you listen what the condition or fish says, kind of like listen to the nature instead, force to them the way exactly plan in the morning. But if something changes, like wind changes, start raining, wind, other fishermen on the spot, a lot of stuff changes during the day. You have to listen what those environments.
Right.
Maybe sometimes the boat hung around or some minnows jumping around.
Yeah.
Pay attention to those details.
So pay attention to all the details and make adjustments on the fly. Is that what you got out of Rick's seminar?
Yeah, it's easy to talk about it, but on the water, if you're fishing a lot of online, it's hard to make a right move.
A lot of people get very comfortable when they're not in the water, but once you hit the water, everything is upside down. It seemed like,
It is.
The wind is wrong. The weather, everything's wrong. Tak, I know that education is a big deal in Japan, as it is in many cultures. What did your family say when you did not get a college education and basically worked odd jobs to support your tournament habit in Japan?
My dad thought I'm crazy.
Yeah.
And my parents, my friends, teacher, they all against me to come to the United States to become a professional bass angler.
Who pushed you to come to the United States?
Oh, I did. I want to do it. This was my somehow I got into it when I fished the junior crab tournament, and I said I like to be professional tour angler.
Right.
So I really want to try it. So I worked a couple of different part-time jobs, then saved some money. Then I bought tickets to Texas.
Right.
Then I get those bass imitation tournament as a non-boater. That was 1992 March. And but bottom line is, I was 18 years old. I was really, want to try.
Right.
So
the Flying Lure was on TV in 1992. Did you see that at all?
No, but at the same time, I don't have it. I was shocked actually. I said, wow, this much things going for the highest level of the bass tournament.
Yeah.
If you want to become professional angler, you have to come to America. That's the only place you can make a living on the fishing. So. I read about it,
Right.
But actually, if you experience yourself, it was shocked to see the level is different. What I was thinking, when I thought about it.
Right.
But it's not too much disappointment. I said, well, this is maybe fun to challenge more.
Yeah.
So that was my first impression.
Takahiro, we got to go to a break right now, but would you come back and do our final segment?
Sure.
Okay, we'll be right back, folks, with Takahiro Omori, Bassmaster Classic winner, and man from Japan. That's right, man from Japan who won the Bassmaster Classic, and he lived the American dream. We'll be right back.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? Don't change that dial. Alex will be right back with more of Outdoors This Week after these messages.
Many deer hunters utilize trail cameras in their scouting process. Trail cameras offer a way to take inventory of your herd. Actually look at the animals using your hunting area. However, biologist Dr. Grant Wood says many hunters make a fundamental error with trail cameras that actually hurts their chances instead of helps them. I'm Wade Bourne, and this is Wired to Hunt Radio. In a minute, wise advice about using trail cameras so they work for you instead of against you.
Stay tuned for more Wired to Hunt Radio.
Planning to head outdoors today? The National Shooting Sports Foundation reminds you to check the fire danger levels in your area. Whether target shooting, camping, or even parking a car with a hot exhaust, remember to take precautions. If you're going shooting in dry conditions, minimize the possible risk of fire by not using steel-jacketed or steel core ammunition, tracer rounds, or exploding targets. As we know, wildfires have many possible causes. Don't be one of them.
For a day at the range, it's hard to beat an accurate pistol and lots of .22 long rifle ammunition. Folks at Smith & Wesson couldn't agree more. And the new M&P 22 pistol fits the bill perfectly. The M&P 22 combines the look, feel, and familiar operating features of the trusted M&P series of centerfire pistols. The M&P 22 is perfect for training or simple shooting enjoyment. To learn more about this new M&P rimfire pistol, visit www.smith-wesson.com.
This is Wired to Hunt Radio.
Dr. Grant Woods shares his deer management and hunting knowledge on his website, growingdeer.tv. Check it out. There's a lot for deer hunters to learn on Dr. Woods' site. Recently, we were talking about using trail cameras, and he told me about a mistake that a lot of hunters make.
A lot of guys put their trail cameras right at their hunting stand, and so they go into the stand real cautious to hunt it, but they go check their trail camera with their work clothes on or during the middle of the day, and they're going in and out once a week to change batteries or get their card or whatever, and they're conditioning deer to avoid that area in daylight.
Now, instead of putting trail cameras where you'll be hunting, Dr. Woods advises putting them where you can learn about deer in your area without conditioning them to avoid the specific location where you plan to hunt.
I want to put my trail cameras in places where I think mature deer are using at night, maybe open food plots or fields or whatever, and connect the dots mentally, if you will. Okay, I saw deer here, I saw deer here. Where would he likely be traveling here? Where's he bedded in the day? Connect those mental dots. Sneak in, hang a stand, go in and hunt for the kill. Not put my trail camera in there. My trail cameras are scouting tools. I need to be the guy in there hunting.
That's Dr. Grant Woods. And again, check out his website, growingdeer.tv, for some expert advice about deer management and hunting techniques. And that's today's Wired to Hunt Radio. I'm Wade Bourne saying thanks for listening and get outside.
Thanks, Wade. We have with us Bassmaster Classic champion Takahiro Omori. He was born in Tokyo. He came to rule the fishing world, at least the bass fishing world. I mean, Takahiro, I think at least a made-for-TV movie, the story of your life. Has anybody approached you about that?
Yeah, I did. But bad economy time, I guess money ran out. We never become, for the movie.
How much money did you have when you arrived in America for the first time?
I brought like $2,000.
Wow. $2,000. That's nothing. Where did you move?
Well, I was technically sleep in a car.
Really?
I don't have a house, so the tour travel, so I was sleeping in the car.
Slept in your truck, kind of like Rick Clunn, right?
Yeah, it is.
You think that helped you? I mean, Rick thinks that sleeping in a truck helps him know what the bass are doing. You feel it also helped you?
Well, definitely you can feel how cold in the morning, how hot at the night sometimes.
Right.
So you can, feel the nature closer. But I don't have a choice because I don't have money to be able to stay in a hotel.
Unlike Rick, you didn't have a choice because you didn't have a home. So, Tak, these days, what are you up to? You're going to the Bassmaster Elite Series up in Waddington, New York. How do you feel about fishing the St. Lawrence?
It's going to be great. The fishery gets way better than it used to be. A lot of big smallmouth, some good largemouth. So I'm really excited about it. You know, I'm still fishing, traveling. You know, I have a little camper now, then stay in a campground. And I enjoy my life. Lifestyle as a tour pro.
Right.
And, you know, I'm excited about fish next week.
You're not married, right?
No, I'm single, just, you know, a lot of traveling, so I'll never be home.
Right. Are you sorry that you never had a family, or is that down the road?
It could be down the road. Maybe I get, you know, baby when I get 50. I don't know.
That's great, Takahiro. You give me hope. You give me hope.
Just, I like I said, I really enjoy lifestyle as a tour pro.
Yeah.
Travel around, see a lot of different fisheries.
Right.
You know, all the way up to New York, to Florida, to sometimes we go California.
Right.
So, and now the tour costs a lot of expense to keep going.
Right.
So I have a good sponsor.
Who are your sponsors, Takahiro?
Well, Yamaha is my title sponsor. It's been like more than 10 years.
Yeah.
Back up with Ranger, like Lucky Craft, like Daiwa, you know, I have a few more just to, you know, help me to keep me on the tour. It's like I get paid to go fishing.
Right.
So it's like,
how cool is that?
It is. This is what I want to do it when I was, you know, fishing the crab tournament when I was in high school.
Right.
And now, you know, it's I get to see different places in the country just to keep me really busy.
Write a letter to your mother. Say, hey, Mother, they're paying me to go fishing. How cool is that?
So this is happening only in America. Believe me, you know, I can do this in Japan. I never be here. You know,
right.
So I always want to challenge, you know, highest level the tournament as much as, you know, I can. Then try to become better fisherman.
Yep.
And only in America.
How do you feel about America?
America, to me, it's a lot of opportunity. It's you know, it's a lot of different sorts, but you can do what you like to do. You know, as long as you mess with some other guy.
Yep.
People let them alone to try to what you want to do. So if you set up a goal and, you know, you work hard, then those, you know, a lot of opportunity to be success.
My parents came from Europe after the war, and it's kind of the same thing. You know, they loved America because there were no limitations like there were back in, you know, Germany and Russia, places like that. So, Takahiro, where people find out more about you?
I have my own website or Facebook, TakahiroOmori.com.
Okay.
Or Facebook, you can put my name, full name. I try to update it all those between the tournament or some off-season. My goal is continue to fish highest level tour, challenging the best fisherman in the world, and try to be best I can be.
Right. Takahiro, thanks for being with us. I know our entire audience enjoyed it, and I certainly enjoyed it as well. Good luck to you on the tour, and especially on the Thousand Islands, all right?
Yeah, I'm going to enjoy it next week.
Great. All right, see you later, Tak.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Alex Langer, Outdoors This Week.